On January 24th, 1975, after an exhausting 5-hour drive through the hills of Germany, legendary jazz pianist Keith Jarrett finally reached his destination. That night, he was booked to play for a sold-out crowd at the Cologne Opera House. And yet, when he finally arrived, his spirits dipped even further when he realized that his request for a Bosendorfer 290 Imperial Grand had gone unfulfilled. And in its place, well, he'd be playing a rather uninspiring, slightly out-of-tune rehearsal piano, whose sustain pedals didn't even work. And so, weary from the road, with a stiff ailing back and flustered by these lackluster conditions, Jarrett, known to be a demanding perfectionist, declared his intention to cancel the evening show and fly home. However, in between this discouraged performer and these 1,300 restless jazz fans eager to hear him play, stood the 17-year-old German student who organized the concert, named Vera Brandes. Though we're not exactly sure how, Vera managed to blow life into Jarrett's weary bones and help him see that all was not lost. With her unmatched hope and resiliency, she convinced Jarrett to walk onto the stage that night and play. And what transpired that night was nothing short of magic. In a back brace, and with an instrument whose lowest and highest keys were virtually unusable, Keith Jarrett improvised his brains out for over an hour, captivating the breathless audience. ECM Records recorded the performance and released it later that year as the Köln Concert. And if you listen close, you can actually hear Jarrett moaning as he grinds through the show, beating every last note out of that dusty old piano. In the 45 years since that record released, this solo masterpiece has gone on to sell over 4 million copies, making it the best-selling piano album of all time. I love this story. And when I think about it, I kind of feel like Keith Jarrett represents the way that many of us feel as we leave our more conservative Christian world. Tired, alone, frustrated, and a little beat up. And the piano is kind of like Christianity, that clunky, out-of-tune, partially busted tool that we have to work with. It's not perfect, yet we're still drawn to it for reasons we can't always name. And that improvised record that enraptured the audience on the hills of Germany, man, what a picture of the surprising magic that wounded people might still make with even the most improbable instruments and in the most unlikely places. And I don't know, in my own small way, I kind of think I'm like Vera Brandes, insisting that we not give up, inviting us to consider that there are restless people out there hungry for a bit of magic, desperate to be awakened and enchanted. I know you're tired. I know you're lonely. And I'm sure you miss the comforts of being a part of a community or a church or even a family. A place where you all shared the same belief system or practiced sacred rituals together. Trust me, I know well the temptation to want to just close up shop, seal off your heart, and leave the whole thing behind. But if you want, if you still feel that maybe some good can come out of merging parts of the Christian tradition with a more progressive way of thinking, then let's keep showing up, improvising with what we've got, and trusting that the music that we make will be enough. And when you're feeling ready to quit, when you're feeling like you want to walk away, I'll be your Vera, standing in the wings, believing in you and cheering you